And that's why they call it Shaky Knees. What's going on, everybody? This is the Cover Band Confidential podcast, the podcast for cover band musicians and band leaders to learn how to rock more and sunglasses in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm Adam Johnson.
In Greensboro, North Carolina, I'm Dan Ray.
So the week of musical consumption has concluded.
And your knees are shaky.
Yes. I would say a solid 8 out of 10. There was a lot of walking.
A lot of walking.
But yes, between standing room at Phish and a 3-day music festival, been on my feet a lot.
That'll leave your knees shaky.
Yeah. So what about you? How are your feet and knees?
Feet and knees are good. I'll tell you, I'm going to Disney next week, so we'll find out how my foot is. This is the first major test of it. I'm feeling pretty decent. Not terrible. I am going, it turns out, solo. Because the family had some changes, but I've got this Disney app to play with and test. More about that later, maybe, but or later when I know that it's a thing.
Yes.
I don't know that it's a thing yet because I haven't actually tried it out. But that's all happening. It's going to be lots of steps on a foot that is still technically recovering. I actually did book the surgery on the other foot. It'll be December 12th.
Yep.
So that's for real, and kind of means I'm in for like a year and a half, maybe 2 years of not a lot of gigging.
Yeah.
However, I did gig last night. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So all good.
Speaking of things that are happening, I got the email notification that registration for NAMM was open, cool. And I think I finally did it right. Now this will be my third NAMM, and the first two. First year I went as an endorsed artist. Victory Amps sponsored my way in, which was awesome. Last year I went under us, so it was like my company was the podcast. And I think this year I finally ended up on the right list, and so I was given a media credential.
That's what you want.
Yes, because I get access to more things and know when certain events are going on and that kind of thing. The other thing about that is that apparently those are free, which is also news.
No, you're a target market at this point.
Yeah, no, but before that I was paying for these things.
Yeah, I know.
First year, didn't have to pay for my ticket, but did have to pay for airfare and lodging. Last year, just lodging and paid for the ticket, and then this year, no ticket, no lodging. That's cool.
It's beautiful. This you reached out to me and said, "Hey, you want to come?" And I was like, "I do," and I'm gonna have a freshly cut on foot at that time, so that's not really gonna work. But I'm telling you, next time, the next one, by God, I'm there.
NAMM on a rascal.
Gonna happen.
So yeah, very excited about that. Other thing, very excited about. We hit 2 million views on YouTube this week.
Boom.
It took us 8 years to get the first million and 4 months to get the second.
Yep. And 2 months to get the third.
Maybe if I make another one of these cheap guitar videos that seem to do the thing.
Well, but every one of them gets you new members, that gets you new views, that gets you new members, that gets you new views. It's like a snowball effect kind of thing. So
momentum has something to do with it for sure.
Totally.
We're also getting close to 6,000 subs. We hit 5,000 not too long ago, but
sweet.
We're at 5872 as of right now.
Okay.
So things are going. They're moving. They're grooving. So that's pretty much it as far as housekeeping type stuff. We do have a review.
Oh.
This one came in through the online form on the website. This is from Billy Lion. And his...
with a Y. Lion with a Y.
Yes. Hold on. I'm about to sneeze. Maybe we'll leave that in.
Sure.
Billy says, "Thanks for all you do for the cover band community. Your content has been really helpful and inspiring." And he also asked us to say something. Could you want to do the honors, Dan?
I do.
So I was thinking I heard about this band. They're called the Billy Lion Band out of Sarasota.
Oh, the Billy Lion Band is Sarasota's best cover band.
How's that?
No, I don't like it. No, I'm going again. All right. The Billy Lion Band is Sarasota's best cover band.
All right, my turn.
Go.
The Billy Lion Band is Sarasota's best cover band. Now, both at the same time. 3, 2, 1, go. The Billy Lion Band is Sarasota's best cover band.
That's hard. I think I was laughing over yours. You should go again. So in case he loves it, you can uses.
Every single one of these takes is making the show. The Billy Lion Band is Sarasota's greatest cover band.
Greatest.
I want to.
I'm in. That wasn't in the copy, but
Nope.
I love it. That was an improv.
Yes. I was moved in the moment to to do that.
So
if you want to hear us do a couple of takes on the thing that you're going to put in your EPK, send us a message. We'll do it.
with no credentials behind us. Who are these voices?
Coverband Confidential. It looks good as a tagline.
For sure.
I mean, you could put our names, but then it would just be, I think it's less impactful if our names are in it, honestly.
In all fairness, no shade to any other Sarasota cover band, but Billy Lyon asked first.
Yeah.
So here we are.
That's the way this works.
Yep.
Okay. So this is the week of unpacking and post-morteming.
Yep.
So you played a gig.
I did.
And I saw a bunch of them. So which one should we cover first?
Me.
Yes. I love that idea. Please. You have returned. You did live acoustic solo karaoke.
I did.
For the first time post-op.
I did.
Tell us about it.
I did. So anyone who didn't listen to last week, I was reached out to by somebody who saw me doing karaoke years ago at this venue called Pig Pounder here in Greensboro, which I played a lot at, many hours. And it unleashed something in her. She's now a karaoke person, and she'd never been that before that night with me. And it was great. When I looked back at the signups in my karaoke app, that was 2021.
Okay.
When I first met her, and I when I saw her last night, I didn't recognize her, but we go all the way back.
Yeah.
And it was great to know that participating with me in that had been a moment in her life that mattered. She became a karaoke person out of that, and enough so that she wanted me to play at her husband's party. It's his 41st birthday. Because she had pneumonia or something last year, and they had a party and canceled it because she was sick. So this is like the big party, but it was 41 instead of 40.
Got it.
It was fraught with challenges. This is the first karaoke show I've done in almost a year. And I have this app that I've built. Back before I was vibe coding, I actually hand wrote every line of it like an artisan. This feels very antiquated these days. And it was running on an Amazon light sail server. Mm-hmm. And there were routing problems getting to it. Like most of the time, it just didn't get, like it failed most of the time. So I pulled it down from there. I put it up on a different server. And real developers who are going to hear me say this, I haven't written code by hand professionally in probably 12 years. And when I did, it was PHP. And PHP is a language that some developers turn their noses up at. So if you've just done that to me, I apologize to you. But it's written in PHP. And it was written in a version of PHP that is now several years old. And when I brought it to a new server with a current version of PHP, there was some breakage. And I failed to do good testing. So I got to the gig, started playing around with the app, and there were errors, and it was breaking, and it was failing. And we ended up just using paper.
Okay.
I gave her access to my list, and she had pulled it down and printed it out as a PDF and emailed it to some people. So we had that.
Okay.
And then we had paper and a pen, and people came and signed up old school. And that all worked. That was fine. That was tech failure number one. Tech failure number two was that my page turner pedal, I'm not going to name check them because it's been dead reliable forever. I'm sure it's a me problem. But the first time I tapped it, it would move one screen's length down. It advanced me by a screen height.
Yep.
And the second time I tapped it, it would advance me by all the screen heights, all the way down to the bottom of the chart. Which is not how you want it to do. And then the reverse pedal was completely not working at all. It's not great. So I was mostly finger scrolling my way through, which kind of sucks because it breaks up the rhythm of the guitar playing.
Yeah.
And when you got karaoke people who are like depending on your rhythm, like to take a hiatus from that to scroll the screen is not terrific.
Sure.
These were my tech problems, and they were consuming me in the first hour of the show. I was really struggling, and at some point, both the crowd got lubricated enough that they were participating more, which always happens in a three-hour karaoke show. The first hour is dead, and the host is like signing up a bunch of times, trying to get some energy happening. And my poor girl who hired me was doing a bunch of that. And then, of course, you get to the end of the night, and everybody's signed up, and time ends, and you're like left with 3 or 4 signups. I did hang out a little long to finish those up after I stopped taking new signups. But overall, it was super fun. It was really great. It was really like a return to all the things that I love about karaoke. And by the end of the night, I was absolutely exhausted.
Yeah.
I mean, part of the thing about recovering from the surgery has been about getting sort of my base stamina back up.
Yep.
And in my normal life, I haven't felt low energy in probably a month and a half, 2 months, something like that. Mm-hmm. But boy, I got home from that show, all of that crowd interaction, all of the playing, all of the everything. And yes, I was donezo. But it was fun. It was a $300 solo gig. She tipped me $50. So the payday was decent for what it was. And I have nothing else on the schedule between now and when my next surgery is scheduled. Now, as of now, is scheduled for December 12th. So I'll try and find a way to fit a couple of things in there. I think it's probably time to reach out to my bandmates and say, like, hey, let's get in the room and make some noise. I don't know. Probably we won't book anything between now and then, but like I'm ready to get in a room and make some noise. Yeah. So and I think it'd be good for all of us.
Oh yeah.
That's the plan. That's where I'm at.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It is not unexpected that, something you hadn't been messing with very intently would not necessarily work when you pulled it back out.
Yeah.
The system thing is always it's not essential, but when it's not there and you've grown, reliant on it, that feeling is less than optimal. But the cool thing is that you've done this long enough to go, okay, this didn't work, this will work. So you have you've got a stack of options, and
sure.
Even if it means going analog, that is like a totally reliable, commonly used setup. So
piece of paper's not going to crash.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just like anything else, it's like you got to get over the hump. Now you know what to look for, what to fix, what to pay attention to. So it'll make it that much easier on the next go round. And I'd like to see how the get together goes with your folks, because I think it'd just be fun to kick the tires and make some noise.
Yeah.
Good for you, good for everybody around. So cool beans. Okay. I saw so much music this past week, man.
Good.
So for those of you who are just tuning in, my week last week was seeing Phish for the first time, taking my 15-year-old to do that. And then we went and saw Shaky Knees Festival Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this past weekend. Let's start with Phish. So you and I are both, we have consumed Phish's music over the years.
Yeah.
Definitely have particular favorites of their creative output.
But their studio output, crucially.
Correct.
Yeah.
And this is the first time that I was going to be exposed to the cultural experience that is going to a Phish concert.
Right.
So I was having this experience in tandem with my son. And so we did our best to have ourselves an authentic Phish experience. We got dropped off at Shakedown Street, and we went through the parking lot and saw all the wares.
Grilled cheese.
We did have a grilled cheese. He was adamant that he had to get one.
Of course.
The real exciting part was I opened up my Venmo and realized that I had $80 in it. So all of a sudden I have an operating budget.
Yeah.
So we were able to do some stuff and get the whole feel for it. Ran into my sister and brother-in-law who know the whole drill, and that part was cool. It's definitely an interesting situation to see folks who are literally living out of their vans and doing this thing. That's cool for them. I'm excited that they find fulfillment in it.
Yeah.
The parking lot grilled cheese tasted exactly the way that you think a parking lot grilled cheese would taste. And then it was time to go in. And it was cool that I actually ran into a bunch of folks there. Other former bandmates and my lawyer, general counsel, who listens to the show. Shout out to my lawyer, Adam. So from a social standpoint, it was a blast. And I felt like I knew what I was getting into, like what to expect as far as like the actual like concert itself goes. And I feel like I was pretty dead on the money as far as what it would be like versus what it actually was like. So we were down in the orchestra area, general admission. We had a really pretty solid spot, stage right, house left, right in front of the keyboard station and all of that. So great vantage point for the band and very close up. But we were at like an exit spot. So at a point of egress. So if things got too crazy, we could nope our way out pretty easily. Yeah. Everybody was really nice. It was good. Like the vibes were good. Everybody was enjoying themselves. They played not a single song I had ever heard them do before.
Really?
No, I mean, there was a couple of parts like, oh yeah, no, I remember this. But it was definitely also a lot of like, they start playing a riff and like the whole place goes mental. And I'm like, what is this? Right. What is this song?
Yeah, I've been, I guess it's, to be fair, it's probably 20 years since I was current on Phish.
Yeah.
So
there was that. And the two things that I was really impressed by, and neither one of them are guitar related. That's not to say, that's not me slagging Trey Anastasio by any stretch. It just, I feel like I kind of know what the space he operates in. Yeah. And it was very much that, which is cool. Yeah. I mean, he's got a Dumble. I mean, that's cool.
That is cool.
I was like, trying to explain what a Dumble was to my kid. I was like, that amp, he's got two of them up there. The other one was like a Mark IV Mesa Boogie or whatever. It's like, that one's worth more than our house.
Yeah.
He's like, huh? I was like, look it up.
No, it's a thing.
Yeah. The really impressive, like, as far as band, crew, whatever, the lighting director, MVP by a lot. I don't know what they pay him. It's not enough. The light rig that they have is really something. It's at least 2 or 3 separate trusses, but each of the trusses is articulated at least in 3 points. It may be 4. I can't remember. I'll have to look at the videos. Not only like are the lights moving and dancing along with what the music's doing, but so are the trusses. So it was the first time I've ever seen somebody like work a light rig like an instrument, So it wasn't just like lights turn on, lights turn off, or truss goes down, truss goes up. At multiple points in the night, there was at least one truss doing like the wave.
Wow.
Which is something I've never seen before. The fact that like they've basically they're the electronic lifts that they use to put the rigging up was being used in as a production element.
Yeah.
Which I've never seen before. And then the other thing was just their keyboard player. I don't know. Is every time I heard like an interesting motif, it was coming from keys. And I guess I hadn't ever really paid attention to what the rest of Phish is doing. I feel like as a guitar player, I was like very locked in, like what's Trey doing? But it was just cool to like just look at things from a different perspective. So overall, good experience. Probably still gonna be my last Phish show. And I know that's disappointing because I feel like Phish fans or jam band fans in general, they want you to like what they like as much as they like it. And anything short of that probably feels like a letdown or a bummer. And I apologize to anybody that, was hoping that this was going to, unlock something.
Transformative. Yeah.
Yeah.
So doesn't awaken anything in me.
Right. So unless my son wants to go again, which he probably will, I will not go to another Phish show voluntarily. How about that?
Was this his first concert?
No. The first like big show was the Marvelous 3 reunion a couple of years back.
Okay.
we've done a couple of things since then, but again, jam band concert, very unique experience.
And look, you're catching him at a moment where things can be formative.
Sure.
So who knows?
Right. And you know, my takes aside, like I didn't disseminate any of perceptive things that, you know, music-y people do.
Yeah.
Like none of that got passed along. Because for him, it's I went because he wanted to go.
Right.
And he enjoyed himself there, you know, ergo I had a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm good.
I mean, I would certainly accompany my now 12-year-old daughter to a Taylor Swift concert.
Oh yeah.
I'm no interested, you know, in the music or the person or any of that. Frankly, I cover some because I have to, because we're cover people and we cover what matters to the listeners. But I'd certainly go along. I'd certainly be the chauffeur and all of that. So I get it. If this ends up being a thing that matters to him, you're going to be doing more of it. Yeah.
And for the record, I would really enjoy going to a Taylor Swift concert. Like I would enjoy it unironically.
Look, I'm sure it would be great. I'd probably resent it and be horrified, whatever, until I got there and then be like totally into it.
Right.
I have no doubt that would happen. Yeah. 51-year-old, you know, white guy, I'd be all about it.
You probably wouldn't be the only one.
No, sure.
Yeah. So the other thing that we did was Shaky Knees Fest, which is 3 days of lots and lots of music. And it was awesome. I mean, the lineup this year was unbelievable. The tickets were a lot of money. You know, we got VIP, which gave us a couple of perks that I would gladly pay for again. But to consume that level of live music, like if you were to like quantify it was a bargain, because just the amount of stuff that we got to see over the course of those 3 days is, I mean, it's hard to top. We've already talked about like, will we do it again? Because this year we did it. We bought the tickets before the lineup was announced. I don't know if I would necessarily do that again, because I feel like the lineup really makes the whole, you know, excursion worth it.
Yeah, I would say.
Because if there's a bunch of people that you're not interested in seeing, and there aren't at least a couple of tentpole like headliner folks that you are really interested in, it might be kind of a hard sell. But, you know, this year, night 1, Deftones headlined. Night 2, My Chemical Romance doing the Black Parade.
Yeah.
And then last night was Blink 182.
Okay. Well.
And even the undercards were like pretty ridiculous. As we were leaving yesterday, because we noped out before Blink, I had seen Blink and we were just wiped out. This was supposed to be kind of like a fall festival, like weather was supposed to be whatever. It was 90 plus degrees every single day.
Yeah.
And the space, though it didn't rain, which was great, was very dusty. So there was a lot of actually, well, I'm wearing the shoes that I was wearing. You can
debris in the air.
It is very clear how much dust is on these.
Right.
So yeah, that was a bit rough, and having to get all of that off of you at the end of the day was truly something. But the thing about VIP is a couple of things. You had your own section, which was not right up at the front of the stage, pretty close. So you could probably get within 25, 30 feet of front of the stage.
Okay.
Air-conditioned bathrooms.
Nice.
And all water, soda, and beer was comped.
Cool.
Honestly, the free water was the biggest one.
Sure, 100%, yeah.
You know, I didn't want to have to carry one of these around all
No.
day, and I didn't have to.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. And, you know, there were like loungy areas. There was dedicated merch. Actually, I've got my shirt on right now.
Yes.
So, yeah, the perks were worth it. And every stage had a VIP except for the Criminal Records, which is, you know, the indie stage. So that was awesome. And having the ability to, like, chill in the shade and still watch bands like Devo play, like that's pretty cool. And not have to be up front, like, rushing the barrier.
I'm delighted that Devo is playing.
This lineup was unbelievable. So Johnny Marr played.
Nice.
There were a bunch of folks, like kind of, I guess what you would consider legacy acts, but also like brand new bands. All right, let's do it day by day. So night one, that was Deftones was the headliner. Lenny Kravitz played before Deftones.
Whew. And you shared a video of Always on the Run.
Yep.
That was spanking.
Yeah. So the thing is, I have been in the music industry for a number of years. I have met famous people, and a lot of times you meet somebody who's like your hero or somebody you admire, and you're like, oh, they're just like a regular person. That's kind of cool.
And that's a good interaction.
Right.
You're like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lenny Kravitz is not a regular person.
Right.
He is a tiny 61-year-old man who is hotter than I will ever be, even at 61, is just a rock star. And that vibe, that presence is singular.
Yeah.
And I mean, I saw 30 other bands that weekend. Nobody had that. That was it. Band was killer. Definitely noticed a little bit of playback. I was very impressed by the fact that all of the background vocals were clearly Lenny's studio tracks in the mix. Mm-hmm. But there are two guys on stage that he's just paying to pretend.
Stand there and open their mouths.
I mean, nice work if you can get it.
Yeah.
But the set list was awesome. Lineup was killer. His band is bad to the bone. Video effects and stuff were cool. Like, rockin' set. Cool. I was not expecting to enjoy that one as much as I did, and I really enjoyed it. It was awesome.
Awesome.
Deftones, I mean, they first off, they open up with Be Quiet and Drive, which is like a pretty, like, people want to hear that song. Right after that, they play My Own Summer, which is the other song that everybody wants to hear besides like Change and some of the White Pony stuff. So literally within 10 minutes of their set, I was like, I think I'm good. I heard what I want to hear.
Yeah, they burned their encores.
Well, I mean, they had some bangers, but like those are two pretty big ones, and those are the ones that I was kind of like waiting for, so I didn't have to wait that long. It was like, cool.
That's good.
So we got a somewhat early night. Let's see, other standout sets. Bill Murray, which I've been like waiting to see. They were phenomenal. My Chemical Romance doing the Black Parade was special. It was at one point like Amber and I locked eyes, like bawling, during certain parts of it.
Yeah.
If you aren't familiar with that record, it's basically like an interlude called Cancer. It's just this kind of like piano-y, kind of like an Elton John kind of vibe. It's one of my favorite songs. And at one point, like all three of us were singing it together. And I was like, price of admission, worth it.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And then like you would just kind of like pass through and see like, oh, All American Rejects are playing here. Let's check that out. Saw some bands I'd never seen before. The Linda Lindas. They're phenomenal. You should look them up. Hey Nothing. Just so many, like I'm obviously missing stuff. Stereophonics and Idols, and just go look at the lineup. I'll turn around. You can read my shirt or whatever.
There you go. Yeah.
It is good to be an audience person. I was even like able to like turn it off for a little bit and just enjoy it, which is cool. Seeing Bill Murray and realizing like, I don't care that there isn't a bass player on stage, like at all. He had a steel guitar player, somebody playing pedal steel. He has and a saxophone player, no bass player coming through. Don't care. It was awesome.
Yeah. Cool.
There were times where like, Critical Mind, you want to like lock in on stuff. And other stuff was just like, nope, I'm just here and I'm enjoying it. The last set that we saw was Weird Al. And we were up against the barricade for that one. And again, fully able to just turn my brain off and be like, this is awesome.
That's great.
And just be surrounded by like 10,000 other folks who were also like 12 years old for like a 45-minute window,
Yes.
watching Weird Al. And then Puddle's Pity Party came out for literally like 15 seconds. Totally dressed up, whatever, makeup or whatever. Walked out on stage, sang like 3 words of Yoda, and then ran back off stage. Like, that's a pretty heavy lift.
Yeah.
So I'll say that this exercise was a raging success.
Very good.
I found enjoyment in seeing live music and just, enjoying the chaos that is a 3-day outdoor music festival.
That's great.
Yeah. Feel good about it. And definitely like came away with some stuff that like, hey, this might be a good idea. Maybe we should try this. Maybe we should try that. So lots of, actionable
Excellent.
things,
Yeah.
even in the midst of all the other things.
That's great.
And that's all I got.
Okay.
No more gear has come in. No other gigs have popped up, really, since we last spoke. 2 folks joined the Patreon today, though,
Sweet.
and that's cool.
Yes.
They should be hopping onto the Slack any moment.
Very good.
And,
I look forward to
yeah.
saying hi to them.
Absolutely. So, folks, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming along to, this tale of post-gig and music stuff. If you would like to support the show, you could do a number of things, but I'll go ahead and call it for this week. In Atlanta, Georgia, I'm Adam Johnson.
In Greensboro, North Carolina, I'm Dan Ray.
You have been listening to the Cover Band Confidential podcast for the week of September 26, 2025.
The world